All right, guys, we're getting there. Here we go. I am just getting myself set up here. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. We are doing it. Welcome, everybody that is logging in. And let me see what we got here. Guys, here we go. All right, cool. All right, I see some of you logging in. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that. I was just trying to get you all in and logged in here. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time, and I'm just going to give you some chit chat time on all of us kind of wrapping our brains around all of this stuff. I know it is not what everybody was expecting. I'll tell you that. Life is happening at a pace that we can't, or I should say, could not have predicted. But it's happening nonetheless, and we will get over it. We will prevail, and we will pass by it. But all right, guys. All right, so welcome everybody that's new, the newbies that are showing up. Welcome to the channel. I'll give you guys a little bit of, usually I like to do the first couple of 5 minutes intro when we haven't started the exact Truth Tribe call yet, but let me go live here. All right, we are recording. So the recording and the rest of the call are going to be on topics that I'm going to try and take you all to the consciousness level of the planet. And it's getting people a little bit off their kilter, clearly. And I use those words lightly a little bit, only because the planet knows what it's doing, the universe knows what it's doing, the planets know what they're doing. It's the people with egos who are struggling. And so that's kind of where we're all sitting in this, chaos, shall we call it. It's pretty chaotic, and it's a space of shock for a lot of people, a space of there's so much is going on emotionally, right? And so I like to do these calls based off of truth and universal truth tribe, and not off of emotions, which is what's going on. And so, the sky is having its impact on all of us, and people keep asking me like what's going on, and we're going to talk about it, but I'm not going to dive in there too much. So those of you who are on the call and are asking, like, tell me about the sky, Dawn, you really know what the sky is doing. It is forcing all of us to cleanse, forcing all of us to shift our paradigms and our mentality and our emotional states and everything about ourselves. It's being forced to open the door. And it's hard for me sometimes, only because I just know how to read an astrology chart, which is no more than reading the sky, which is no more than reading the universe, which is no more than reading a map. You know, I have this ability to read a map, and anyone can do it, yet we don't do it. I do it and say, oh, we can kind of expect this. I prepped you guys for probably the last 2 or 3 weeks that we were going to play hot and cold, that we were going to go intense and then stop, intense and then stop, and intense and then stop. That's what's happening. On a vibrational energetic scale, that's what's happening. It's intense, and then it literally stops. And then we're like, we open our eyes and we're like, what just happened? And then it's intense, and then it stops, or it's like literal shutdown, and then it's intense. And it's going to keep going, because this is prepping you for Aquarian energy, which is the second you grab onto something and you think it's that, it's going to be something else. And it's not comfortable for people. People like certainty. We've talked about this, right? So that's the planets in action right now, you guys, and that is what's happening. And if you can start seeing this from a consciousness level, which I'm going to show you the consciousness grid during this call and show you kind of what consciousness is kind of being impacted right now and being shown. Those of you who are dropping in, I've just been talking about the planets and kind of the energy, and that it is partially planets that are helping this all shift. And I don't mean just planets, but I mean the universal energy grid is having its jump in, right? So this universal energy grid is having its impact on all this. So I haven't started the call, but I've started kind of just, it's a planet. And people keep asking me, literally, my phone is blowing up, like, what's wrong with the planets? And there's nothing, they're happy. They're doing what planets do. It's us, right? We don't like when the planets put pressure on us. And I like to give you guys a little insight as to why they're doing that, or what they're trying to do. And so if I can just read the map for all of you, minimally, it gives you a little bit of a perspective of what the map is trying to redirect. If you don't take directions on that map, and if you don't walk down the road that the map is encouraging, it's super okay. It just means it's going to get uncomfortable when you're being forced down the road or the path that is on that map. That's kind of what's going on. And so if you can look at it from that perspective, that's what's sharing itself on this global perspective, on this consciousness level, on this consciousness grid. Okay, so I'm going to get started. There are quite a few of you on here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. I know there are quite a few of you who are new on here. If you are in the on the YouTube end of this call, if you could just throw a public chat in there and just wave, a hand wave, a heart, anything. I would just love to see a few of you on here. I can see a few of you that you've joined in, but it'd just be nice to see if your name would pop up and I can wave back to you. Just know I am watching on all levels, only because I can see you in different levels. Hello, hello from everyone. Thank you for joining in. So here we are. And nobody likes it. You're not supposed to. Let me just give it to you. I'm going to give it to you straight. You're not supposed to like this. Okay. And why is that? So let's dive into the topics tonight and kind of just dive right in. I do have a live guest at the end. Again, they are always open to ask whatever they want, or if something surfaces from the call. Hi, Matt. I'm so happy to see you. So if something surfaces from the call, then you said, wow, could you just talk about this? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about anything you want. Again, and the Q&As as well. Feel free to drop me a Q&A and I will pull that out at the end of the call. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask questions. So what's happening? The topics tonight are on the Earth is not designed to make you happy. I know we all think that, and I teach it on some level, but I don't want you all to get delusional about like airy fairy unicorn land, because that's not what this planet is for. And the second topic was sparking past life emotions. There's so much past life karma happening on the planet right now. It's not even funny. And I'm going to bring it up because it's just, there's no reason not to discuss it anymore. And so what I want to begin with is sharing my 10,000 viewpoint observation, which is what I've been teaching all of you. Again, go to 30,000, 50,000, whatever the point may be, but I just call it my 10,000 viewpoint, which is getting yourself up into the higher realms of the universe. Okay. And so when you're in the 10,000 viewpoint level, I want you all to go, okay, what is she talking about? I'm out into outer space. I'm out into the universe. I'm looking down on all of this. Okay. So my 10,000 viewpoint observation, and being the example, I wanted to share with you what the example of being a true lighthouse looks like, which is what I taught you all last week. So if you missed last week, jump on the call. I taught you what the universe, what my guides, what my angels, what the spirit guides were talking to me about. And they were prepping you all for this, which is to be a lighthouse. And so I wanted you to understand how I'm trying to show you the exemplary status of how to be a lighthouse, right? And so in my meditation journaling, which is how I journal, I journal and when I meditate. And I asked my guides what I was supposed to do with the excessive emotions surfacing right now, not just my own, but everyone's, right? Because most of you are in excess of emotions. And instead of reacting with this critical, egoic mind, I wanted to be separated and seeing what I was missing instead of getting lost in the emotion, right? Getting lost in emotion. And what I got was karmic loops are surfacing and burning collectively and personally. Now, what does that mean? These karmic energetic loops are surfacing. They're bubbling up to the surface. Now, you don't want to look at them. Nobody wants to look at them. Nobody wants to see them, right? No one wants to see that stuff, but we do. And so these karmic loops that I explained, this is a loop of energy. And it's your loop right now, but it could have been your loop in many lifetimes, past lifetimes, this lifetime. It doesn't matter how many lifetimes, whether you believe in past lives, I do, or you believe in generations. This stuff has been going on, okay? So karmic loops of past life energy that play like songs on your iPod repeatedly until you learn their lesson. So simply go back 1,000 years, and this is not a new experience for any of you right now. Any of you, you've all done this. You're all waking up and go, wait a minute, what is happening? And the answer is you go, oh, I know what's happening. I remember this. You can't consciously remember it, but it's simply basically showing itself to you on TV right now. That's the difference. And so a lot of fires that are happening right now are symbolic of lighthouses. It's crazy to hear it this way, but this is how it's going down, guys. So any light that's getting lit up, even set in destruction, which is painful to watch, right, is revealing, get ready, it's revealing darkness. It's lighting up truth. So if it was set in destruction, but you're seeing the darkness that set it, it's the light is showing you that. It's shining light on hidden agendas and darkness that are dense and draining. And this darkness will implode on itself, by the way. So don't think that you're here, as I taught you all, as infinite loops of lighthouses playing, right? You chose to be a lighthouse. Your personal DMT, remember I told you, Care Bear DMT, share that heart. It's not coming out of your head, then it's coming out of your heart. And that heart of DMT, which is spirit light, source light, universal light, DMT, lighthouses are 10 times more powerful than you guys all realize. And so many of those you want to see like lighten up, but you don't know the right intersection to get to the path. That's what you're watching. You're watching a lot of people trying to figure out where to go. And then you're watching other things that aren't going that way. It's frustrating. You're like, why don't they just go to the light? Because they don't know how. All right, can you all hear me okay? Make sure you can all hear me. Yay, I'm back. Okay, so sorry. My computer of all times decided, I don't even think it's Mercury retrograde, but this is the example of a retrograde. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is those of you who are on YouTube, let's see if I can get you guys in here live as well. It will not. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's do this instead. All right, so you guys should be able to see me YouTube as well, I'm assuming. You guys got me back? Let's see if I'm, all right. All right, guys, we're all good? Okay, if you're all good, thank you. This is crazy. So this is what's going on. Thank you. As long as you're working on YouTube, thank you guys for letting me know, because literally my computer has just frozen up. So as long as you guys are there, that's all that matters. I will check in at the end with questions, and I'm going to bring you on, Aaron, at the end, okay? So if I can get my computer, what's going to happen is I'm just going to literally turn this thing off so we can restart. All right, so let me get us back to what we were. The key to always doing these live is to get ourselves in reset mode, which means I have it backed up on 3 different places. So now that you're all back, okay, thank you. It's good to see you. Okay, so let me see here. All right. All right, so where was I? Let's see. Okay, let's go back. All right. Care Bear Heart. Thank you, Jill. Thank you for keeping me straight. Okay, so this is where we're at. We were talking about karma and your DMT and your Care Bear Heart and being who you are, right? And so what happens is these fires they're getting lit up. We have to recognize that the fire may not be you, right? The fire may not be you as the light. It just may come in different versions, lighting people up in different ways. And so many of you want to see the lightening up happening, but a lot of people just don't know where to go, and they don't know how to follow you, and they don't know where to go to make changes. And so I'm watching this in corporate America and regular businesses. I know you're seeing businesses struggling, but you're also seeing people come together and help the ones who are struggling. You're seeing different people turn into lighthouses, and that's hard. But when you look at a business, it's no different than what you see on the screen, okay? And people are tired of getting taken advantage of. That's really all this is. So they're standing up and they're saying, hey, we need help, right? We need to make changes in how we do this and what we do and what we're doing. And so the truth is that when we start making changes, people are getting tired of this, right? And so I know a lot of people think that they're standing up and they're making this about one person, right? It's about one man, and whom God bless his soul in heaven. But I want you all to understand, this is not the source of all this destruction, okay? This is all orchestrated by dark beings who didn't anticipate houses getting in their way. And videoing this whole that's what wasn't planned. That's what wasn't anticipated, okay? And so it's revealing them in the act as on the ground. It's almost like we have on the ground all of these light workers happening. And that is what's going down. That is what's happening. And that is what we have to start paying attention to. Is a lot of people who are asking me, even at the last call, hey, Dawn,
What is it? How do I be a light? How do I become a lighthouse? How do I become a Care Bear? How do I share my light? And what I've been trying to tell people is you don't have to reveal them in the act is like, oh, I'm going to prove to you you're wrong, right? What I'm trying to share with you is that you just have to be brighter in a place that is dark and that's going to continue to implode on itself. If this burning and releasing, and it's releasing rage inside a lot of you, and I know it is, it's releasing your own inner rage. You can't not. All right. And so it's sparking your own personal anger that is stuffed down. All right. And emotions right now are surfacing and wanting to have this, like, let's say lunch with you or a picnic with you. Okay. And so my girls and I, we laugh because we call them carpet picnics, but my girls and I have these carpet picnics in our living room. And because it's in Arizona, it's typically too hot in the summer for us to have picnics, right? And so we do it inside. And it's the same for all of you. If your world is hot and disrupted right now with angry emotion, right now, I want you guys to allow it to surface and allow it to sit on the corner of your blanket when you have this picnic. And when it's done revealing what you're angry about, it's going to dissolve. But it's not what you're seeing in the world that, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's what the world is showing you to see in yourself. It's not what you're seeing out there. That's not what's making you angry. It's what it's revealing inside of you that you don't like to see. Yesterday I was having anxiety, and Tony kept asking me why. He's like, well, is it from the current events, honey? What is this? What's happening? And, and I told him, I said, what's interesting is it's not at all from anything that's happening. And the reason I want you all to understand that too, why I wasn't coming from that perspective, is because everyone has their part and they are all part of the collective puzzle. Okay, this puzzle that's coming together. So each piece is just as important as the next. And it's surfacing what it was bringing in my anger. Where was this anger coming from for me, right? That's what I wanted to know. I was trying to figure it out. And it was like, it was surfacing my anger for control and choice, right? Because I've lived my life with freedom to choose my life the way I want, no judging, no belittling others for their choices. But when I'm told that my choice is being taken away, it angered me. I mean, seriously, it really, when I got told what I wanted wasn't possible, I was pissed. I mean, literally, I was pissed. And then I realized that's what got to me. Like, I had to let it sit on my carpet picnic, and I sat there with it and I asked, what are you really angry about? Is it all that? Because I wasn't in it. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't in the moment. We weren't in a city that was getting, we could have walked right down the street, but that's what I'm trying to teach you all is it was when I realized I wasn't having control taken away and that I could put my bubble of DMT, spirit light. Remember, I taught you DMT is spirit molecule in all of you. But when I put that bubble of light energy around me and inside of me and just moved on, but it took me to sit with that anger to reveal what it was teaching me. And I have a choice to be free or not, no matter what others choose. Whatever they choose, that doesn't matter. This is true for all of you right now. All of you, okay? And so when you got the question today, which was, Earth is not designed to make you happy. Astrologically, so many of you have asked me, why is this happening, Dawn? Why is this happening? What is happening on the planet right now, okay? And so my question was, all right, I just want to make sure you all can hear me again on YouTube, all right? Hopefully you're all good. Just go ahead and throw me something in the chat. As long as you guys are hearing me okay. I know it finally came back. Just making sure you guys can all connect. All right. So anyway, let's talk about the topic of Earth is not designed to make you happy. And why am I bringing that up? Because that's what's happening right now, right? Astrologically, so many of you are like, what's going on in the sky, Dawn? And again, I'll remind you guys what I reminded you guys last week. 4 planets in retrograde, and on Friday the 5th, there is a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, which rules discussions, communication, speaking your truth. Okay. So it's not just affecting one person. It's not just affecting, certain people with Gemini or those kinds of things. It's affecting everybody. Right. So at the end of the day, that's something we have to start paying attention to and asking ourselves, how are we impacted by this? Well, your chart, guys, is only a blueprint path. You all know I teach astrology at the level of karmic astrology. Why? Because your chart is only a blueprint path to follow until you wake up. It's that simple. It's only a way to see your path that keeps you kind of on this yellow brick road until you wake up one day and go, oh, so it's not really about Oz. And oh, Oz was just an illusion in my head, but it was always inside of me. I always had the power. Yep, that's exactly what I'm telling you. So it's why I tell you that you can change your stars, because people get kind of upset sometimes, like, am I able to change the difficult things in my life in my chart? Yes, you are. And I want to make sure can you all hear me okay on Zoom? Or I'm sorry, on the YouTube call. If you can just pop me in a message down there, just let me know. That'd be great. I'm getting a couple questions that it's saying it's not showing. So just want to make sure you guys are good. I'll keep going if you are. Just show me a message on the Zoom or the YouTube chat. So the point being is that y'all can change your blueprint, right? It's kind of like every chart of you that came in with a blueprint, it all has blessings and it has challenges, each of you individually in this collective, right? Y'all got tattooed the day you were born with this blueprint that you can either ignite into amazingness, or you can expand into something bigger, or you can ignite into a burning inferno that doesn't do you any good. So it's always now, and you are connected to all frequencies all the time. Okay? All frequencies in the planet, in this planetary grid of universe, of universes, this is something you're all connected to. So when you raise your vibration, you shift your chart frequency and your personal frequency into one of 2 options. You can live in heaven or hell. It's your option. So how you choose to do that is on you. You choose to live in heaven or hell. And this is a big deal for a lot of people, because many people live in hell until one day they just wake up and say, oh, it's okay. I got it. That's waking up into consciousness. All right. And so many of you are watching people and you see how they're blessed and happy and enjoy all the time. And I tell them, look, many live in heaven and refuse to go to hell, no matter what storm is taking place in their life externally. And so when I bring this up to you, a lot of people, I keep reminding you, we have to understand that I keep bringing up emotional and spiritual poverty. That is when you are not happy with the challenges unfolding you. It's important for you to see the necessary challenges surfacing that are forcing you onto this greater path. Okay? Thank you, Whitney. That's all I need to know, that you could hear me on there. Okay. So part of being on this call, and again, it's navigating you guys. I'm here to navigate you guys to a place of choice and not confinement. That's that heaven or hell, right? That's the choice and confinement option. It's time to choose heaven instead of hell in the now every single day. There is no then, there is no future. People are like, tell me the future, tell me what the future is going to look like. You can look at the planets and I can give you an energetic plan. I told you what the planets are going to look like. I told you they're going to put pressure on us, but no one could have seen this. They saw versions of it. We've seen it for a long time. So I've never wanted to mislead you guys once into believing that ascension, which I taught you of raising your vibration, raising your consciousness to a higher level, okay, is all rainbows and unicorns, because its challenges are pressuring each of you to change to what would be your personal heaven. What do you dream of and what do you wish for? The world is not designed to make you happy. The world is here to challenge you. Heaven or hell is a choice. And what you're all seeing right now is bringing up this inner hell, this visual hell, this painful emotions that you're like, I can't take it. But these challenges are basically calisthenics for your mind to grow or groan. And a lot of people are groaning right now and they're really disappointed and they're really unhappy. And you must choose what your truth is. Not what your programmed thoughts and paradigms and beliefs that confine you. None of that. Y'all have it. So don't think you're all exempt. One of you's like, I'm not, I don't have to deal with that. That's not true. I know you're not. You're not going to escape it. So when I get asked ongoing, right, for answers from people, but these, then I'll give the answer and I'm like, here you go. And yet this person receiving them refuses to take action. And so this is simply old beliefs from the likelihood of multiple lifetimes that are playing over and over and over again. And this is the core of IDI coaching, right? Waking up to your true value and truth. What does I deserve it stand for? I deserve it. I am valuable. I am worth it. So reminding you that you're not a victim. And everyone on your screens, when you're holding up that digital media and watching all this destruction happen, right? Every one of you on your screens are there because it's part of your karmic journey. And everyone in the screen that you're watching is part of their karmic journey. Because I've heard this daily from many lately. I'm not a victim, Dawn. When I'm like, well, where are you playing the victim? They're like, I'm not a victim, but this challenge is my problem. This is my excuse. This is the reason why. So continuously repeating challenges, it is the victim in you in refusal mode. That's how simple this is. And so now take this on a planetary global consciousness scale. And so many people had refused for so long, and now consciously we're getting pushed up and it's uncomfortable, right? 10,000 feet is what will show you the way out. Done. And like I said, go to 50,000 foot view. Right? Step out of it and observe what you believe. And so many don't realize that your beliefs, guys, are creating your reality. You have to shake it up to shift your beliefs. You won't move otherwise. That is what this is. So people are like, I can't believe it. It's so bad. Yeah, I believe it because that's how heavy we've been for so long. And so it takes that much to move a planet. But we're all moving together. That's the good news, right? So the good news is you've got to pull yourself out of the shackles of this dimension, because this dimension is like shackles. And I know it sounds like too basic. Meditation, my journal meditating, which this is how I meditate through journal meditating that I like to do. Use my example, 5D, the meditation that I recorded on my YouTube. So it's on my YouTube channel. It's 11 minutes a day. But this consciousness will shift in all of you. All of you on this call, all of you that have friends, all of you that are friends of friends of friends of friends of friends, that web, okay? It's going to shift all of you to that higher place. And it's, the reason I'm bringing this up is because when it happened, it's meant to, like when it's showing up, it's meant to happen that way, right? And it's hard for us, especially, I struggle with this quite a bit. And the reason I say that is because I'm the sign of the future. I want to go way out there in a hurry, right? I want to be out there before it's ready, out there is ready for me. How do you unshackle yourself? That's what people are asking me. How do I get out of this pain and destruction? Turn off your social media and digital, but that's hard for people right now because they are in shock. So there's a part of it waking you up and there's a part of it waking up stuff you don't like. So the number one question, how do you unshackle yourself? One, you are repeating what my question is what are you repeating to yourself that's creating your reality of being pissed off right now? Right? Mine was, I have no choice. I have no choice. I'm not a masked person. If people are masked people, I was letting them be. I didn't really care. Clearly, that's all over, right? But I was upset because I was being forced to do something that wasn't my truth. But each time I showed up, that wasn't being forced. It was just a discussion about it that sounded forced. So that's what was pissing me off. Then the second question is, what choice are you making daily that's creating the hell in your current life? There's always one choice that we're discussing, we're thinking, we're presenting, we're milling it over in our brain, but we're making that choice every day to create this pain. And I'm calling it hell, but it's a pain, it's a physical pain, emotional pain, a social, somewhere that you keep showing up at the same place that keeps upsetting you, the same family member or friendship or spouse or child, you keep having the same conversation about the same shitty thing. And you go, I just don't understand why it's not getting better, because you keep doing it. Okay. And which of these limiting beliefs are literally shackling you in anger and away from heaven? So those are the shackles. You are both the victim and the guard in this scenario. You can cut the shackles as well as being the one who walks out of jail. It's the same thing. You can be the prisoner and the prison guard at the same time. You are, right? You're either the lighthouse or you're another's light, and it's revealing your darkness. So someone else comes in and you're either the lighthouse for them, or someone shows up and reveals your darkness. You have two options, and I don't care. I don't want to label anything because I don't label. Nothing is a thing anymore. It's vibration and resonance, right? And so it's basically light revealing dark, or you're the one lost in the dark, one or the other. And so when we get now to the next version of this, I want you guys to understand what's happening is it's sparking past life emotions in all of you. What does that mean? If you can wrap your brain around this, if you're even a bit religious or spiritual, you understand that the soul is eternal. What does eternal mean? Forever. It goes on forever and ever and ever. And you have a soul inside of this physical 3D body. The 3D body needs the soul to function, and the soul has a purpose and it has an intention and it has a bigger consciousness grid, right? And so karma is surfacing and it's speeding up in its delivery of solutions to help you surrender to your truth, the soul's truth. Karma, your karma, everybody on this planet's karma is surfacing and it's speeding up fast. I told you, in, out, in, out, in, out, Aquarian energy. So it can deliver solutions to help you surrender to your truth of your soul. You are not the emotion that is surfacing. And I understand you're all being triggered. I get it. By the powers that be. Call it whatever you want. Call it the government, call it the elites, call it whatever you want to call it, because I don't care. I don't care about that. What I care about is that you're being triggered by the powers that be on the screen to see what is intended to get you angry. How they doing? They getting you angry? Yet if you aren't asking about like what is really making you angry, it's not going to benefit you, with this continuous drip of adrenaline, and you're not getting any growth. So it's getting you wired up and you're emotional and your attention, and you're going, well, I'm just going to feel shitty. I have no choice. There it is again. That's what Dawn was bringing up. You can grow or groan. And again, you get to choose. I'm going to pull up and check and make sure if any of you guys are on here that are asking for questions. I will pop in and I will pull you back up again, Erin, once I get off the call here, or when I get to the next level. We're almost there. So let's have a discussion about this. Let's have a picnic, as I was discussing earlier, with your emotions. Let's sit with this, right? And let's discuss what that emotion needs to teach you to become a thing of the past. What do we have to how do we get it out there? Why is it coming up so fast, and what is it solving for you? Can you simply observe it and not eat it again at your picnic lunch? When that emotion shows up, can you see the emotion or anger as a thing, like this thing, and not as yourself? What does it need for you to know so that it can dissolve forever? Because what others are doing to spark emotions in you, what is it? What do they spark in you? So this is what's coming up, and I want you to write down the one, maybe it's a few of them for you. Okay, it doesn't matter which one or all of them, all right? But what is it sparking in you? Is it sparking jealousy? Is it sparking fairness? I mean, think of the jealousy. Someone says, oh, I can't believe that they're down there and they get to go and they get to do that. They get to have that and I don't. There's a lot of that going on. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Fairness. It's an emotion of fairness coming up. The emotion of inequality. Dishonesty. Brutality. Controlling or victimized. Are any of those emotions coming up for you? Jealousy, fairness, inequality, dishonesty, brutality, controlling, or victimizing? This is all low frequency energy. Now, sorry about this, because on my call, I had this pulled up on the screen and I wanted to show you guys the consciousness level, but I'm just going to show you. Here's 1,000 and here's 0. Low frequency vibration is down here at 0 to 200. Okay, and all of this is low frequency energy on the 3D plane. The 3D plane is the earth plane. Okay, it's the heavy plane, that dense plane where we can touch everything. This has been here, this energy that you're all experiencing and feeling, and all jealousy, fairness, inequality, dishonesty, brutality, controlling, victimizing. It has been here since the beginning of time, you guys. Now it's just on TV. That's how basic this whittles down to. And most people don't like to simplify it that much, but that's what this is. The planet has low energy on it, and it's being revealed right now to the collective masses. And you're all just being able to see it. Now, here's the thing. If it triggers you in some way, you are remembering from a vibrational space. Energetically, you're feeling this vibrational space. It's not from a memory. Maybe from some of you, it's from physical memory. Maybe it's this lifetime that you've played one of those karmic loops. Okay? But what's happening is it's not from the physical memory anymore. This is past life karmic emotional vibrational memory you're picking up. It doesn't mean you or anyone else is bad. It's just consciousness. And it can change literally overnight or over an entire lifetime. It's simply a choice. Okay? So some of you have past lives of torture, pain, imprisonment, victimizing, being the victim, or victimizing others, depression. And it's very hard and even painful to understand what you see. But it's like you're remembering what it felt like. And you're almost like, this feels like it's happening to me, but we're not wanting to be there, but you are. So I know you're all following this, is because like, why does it feel like I'm there, but I'm not there? Because you felt it before, because none of us are exempt. You aren't all just fairies and angels and unicorns in every lifetime. You weren't all just, living a normal life in every lifetime. We've all been in all these experiences. You've all been the king and the tortured. We've all been the farmer and the CEO. We've done it all. Okay? And so it's kind of like I feel the pain, and a lot of you, this is what's happening. I feel the pain, but I'm not interested in it anymore because I don't resonate there anymore. Those of you on this call are likely over the 200 range of vibration. And below 200 is guilt, anger, resentment, torture, anger. All this heavy energy stays down below. Now, it doesn't mean you stay there forever. No, we're cycling. We're picking it up, we're remembering, and we're going, no, thank you. And so, as I shared last week, we're starting to become disinterested in lower consciousness frequencies. That's all that stuff below 200. And so it's not allowing it to hold its power as long. And so it's just like they're dissolving as fast as they arrive. It's the best way I can share it. So this is in the Aquarian energy that everybody's asking, okay, planetarily, what's going on? That's what's happening, right? This Aquarian energy that I prepared you all for, it's in, then it's out. Then it's in, then it's out. It's sunburst of energy, then it stops, right? It's like one crazy idea starts and then it stops. Then it's like another different one and then it stops. That's what this is preparing you for, of not so much putting you in a painful level forever, but it's putting you in a, how do I say, a detachment level of letting things go and not holding on to it so long, not holding on to it that it is going to be there forever, of certainty, and allowing flow so that you start completing these karmic loops. So what I want to remind you guys, it is so important to start to kind of refrain from observing all of this from the ego space. Okay? All of these lower consciousness frequencies are simply that, frequencies. And if you no longer resonate, it will be uncomfortable because it's not you. And you have done the work, you're just not there anymore. And so there's a part of you saying, wow, I have, as I taught you, compassion, but not empathy. You can't take away their pain because everybody's part of this. So some lower frequency, people who are at the lower frequencies are comfortable there. And it is not for your ego to judge them. No, not for your ego to judge. And if you are raising the lower consciousness to a higher vibration, it's up to each of you to stay in lighthouse mode, right? In a higher consciousness. These lower frequencies will not last if enough of you vibrate higher. And it seems like there's not enough of you, but there are. You will see it, I promise you. But you have to take action in your own space to vibrate higher. Remember, not fix, just be. Just be neutral. Be in this alignment of a higher vibration of kindness and consciousness and love and compassion and respect. Understanding. It's a whole different vibrational field. Okay? And so some of you are not in the destruction of this. Some of you are in the direct eye of the storm. Some of you are unaffected completely. There are all levels going on with this thing. But what happens when you light up inside of a dark room? What happens? You don't fix darkness and demons, you reveal them. That's what's happening on a global scale. So everybody wanted to know, wait until the end. This is what I'm sharing with you. So again, none of this is new or out of the blue. It's just being revealed, okay? This has been here for thousands and thousands of years. It's just that now anger, that the collective has stuffed down, okay? So the whole collective, and when I say collective, I mean the whole planet, right? The whole planet had stuffed this anger down for so long, and now it has surfaced because vibrationally we have ascended and we're raising out our vibration to this higher level above 200. Well, you can't be above 200 and hold on to this low vibrational consciousness. Okay, so I'm asking all of you to sit with it and ask it, what is it teaching you, right? Anger is not comfortable. And so it's heavy in your body. This is something I've struggled for a long time, right? For so long. Any external paradigms that you are watching on the screen, if it's sparking your own pain, it's your own loop of resonance of it. And the reason I'm saying that is many are asking me again, what do the planets say, Dawn? What do higher beings, what do the higher powers, what do spirit angels, what are they doing to help us shift? Everybody wants someone else to fix it. Okay. And so all of you on this call are a small few of the massive amount of lighthouses currently on the planet. That's what's happening. Okay. So we haven't gotten to the question part, but I'm almost there, guys. So you guys are doing great. Thank you for kind of bearing with me through this crazy technology stuff. There are so many lighthouses on the planet. And yes, many lighthouses are revealing the darkness and heavy storms around us. I'm not here to determine what actions are right or wrong or who's right or who's wrong. I don't label and nor do I care. I look at everything from a consciousness vibrational scale. And what I want you to see is in every group, in every environment, and I'm talking globally, okay, there will be a lighthouse or tree shaker, okay? So now some of you may not see it, but the great example is Trump. And people have been asking me about it, and I'm like, they're like, who is this human being is here as a light worker, okay, or a lighthouse for the greater masses to view. And the reason I say to view is because he's a visual lighthouse asking the planet, or I should say he's shaking the planet and lightening up things many were not able to see. No, this has nothing to do with politics. He came here as a soul contract to do lighthouse work. He's just getting a lot of visual attention on it, okay? Now, take that visual of the planet, and that's a lighthouse person that's really big lighthouse, right? Now shrink it down to your view, down to your family, and it's no different. Ta-da, right? Here's the question. Who is the lighthouse in your family or company or environment or community? Think about it from that perspective. Who's the lighthouse there? I know many of you who are and I've talked to several of you on this call, and so a lot of you are speaking up in your families, right, about truth and consciousness, and you're getting bullied by your own family or laughed at, and it's why you are the ascending group, right? And the rest are resisting and struggling. It doesn't make them wrong, they're kind of slow. That's it. So this is how the planet is shifting, and people, you don't like it, but if you can understand, it's like the lighthouses are popping up in each environment and revealing the darkness that needs to surface so it can simply dissolve. Okay, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. It's not to be a worker. You are not to be, I know that's what we call them, and I'm just using the phrase so you can all associate with a word that's used. Okay, and so what I'm trying to share is it's not about being a light. You're not working on anyone. It's not to fix the problem, fix it. It's by shining DMT, spirit light, onto others and allowing them to choose for themselves, to follow the light or not. And I can only assume, given that you are all on a truth tribe call, that it's about now truth. Now, right now, your now truth. You are likely the lighthouses in your family or your community or your company or your team. And if you are shining a higher frequency, it's like as if that they all will on their own, like at one point, because I know a lot of you are going, I'm the only one in my family. Nobody thinks I know what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy. Have y'all ever looked straight at the sun? And then you have to turn away because it's what? Too bright. It's uncomfortable. It makes you have to take a pause, but it feels good and it's warm. That's you in your environment. That's the planet. that's going through this global lighthouse shift. Okay. And so if you're the one in your family that's doing this, right, all of a sudden you're shining this higher frequency, and then all of a sudden your family's like, oh, wow, so that's what feeling good looks like. Oh wow, I had no idea. I didn't realize that's what you meant. You don't need to take them down. You don't need to prove it to them. Just be it. Wow, I didn't know I had an option of cutting off my own shackles holding me back, or anchors that you put on into the water holding your boat to keep it stuck out in the ocean. All you had to do was pull up the anchors. So a lot of them are saying, oh wow. So all I have to do is look at what I don't want and say no, and then say yes to what I wish for. Yes. That's it. That's when you can begin driving your boat to the lighthouse, no matter what storm is unfolding. You focus on the light. So you have to ask yourself what part of this storm you're in. Crystal clear intention of your new truth and sticking in neutrality and don't move. That's the unwavering lighthouse. It doesn't move. There's no good or bad. There's only compassion for where they are. They're either showing up and the lighthouses are revealing. You can look on all the stuff that's getting shown on the screen right now. All of your social media, you're seeing lighthouses that were in all these destructive environments in the last couple of days. You saw the people pop up and say, that's not us. We just want to love. We just want to support. We just want to take care of ourselves. Those are the lighthouses. And they're in the eye of the storm, shedding light. So you don't need to go to the storm. All you need to do is be enlightened and open your eyes and see your truth and share it with everyone in your environment. So what I want to do is get you guys to, I'm going to get to the questions you're all asking here. So I'm going to read some of these for you because it's funny. You guys are all seeing this. So tonight's tips really quick, and I'm going to run through them with you, and then I'm going to bring on a guest. All right, so tonight's tips. Anger. The anger that's surfacing for all of you, it is sparking the spark is intended for you to release your karma. Okay? This is past life energy. You're all playing. We've been doing this. Everybody keeps going, do we not learn? Yeah, we're learning. That's what this vibration, we are moving to a fourth dimension. The fourth and fifth dimension, they're much lighter. They're more loving, but you have to shake it up. And when you get up here, those who are down here don't want you up here. Ignoring that and just shining is where you're going. So anger is okay as long as you allow it to come up and have a picnic with it and let it sit there and ask it what you're releasing. Shackles are a choice you choose to release and reset. Totally your choice, or anchor, whichever you prefer. Heaven and hell, number 3. Heaven and hell are right here, right now. There is no going somewhere. It is a soul is eternal, and the eternal soul stays wherever it's meant to be to complete a karmic purpose. Your purpose is here right now. When its purpose is to be on a different dimension of time and space, it will go there. And those who have passed or have experienced pain are in another dimension that's beautiful, and they'll be back again in another body. Love them for the space and time that they're in. You choose to resonate or not with heaven or hell. Right now, there is no getting somewhere or going somewhere, which means, are you going to play the same song or not? Are you going to keep playing those same experiences or not? And then last tip, which is, what past life karmic loop are you playing out right now for the exact purpose of shifting and residing in a higher consciousness? So what are you replaying that's trying to get you to a higher consciousness? So tonight, instead of, again, I'm going to leave you with one question. I always like to leave you with a question to ask yourself. And this question is ask yourself this, write it down. Can I start to see all of this from 10,000 foot view? Go to 30, 50, wherever you want. And look for all the lights working instead of the dark dragging me in. Because I'm telling you, this powers that be, whatever you want to call it, I don't want you to label it or name it, but darkness wants you to look at the darkness. Why? Because it keeps you down in a low vibration. But when you're focused on the lighthouses, you stay your own lighthouse, and guess what happens? When we all start looking at the light within each other, you start seeing, wow, there's an amazing amount of lighthouses on this planet and they're doing good work. When you focus on the light, you will be light and more of them will want to be you, and we will raise the vibration. But you cannot do it if you are not stay shining. If you allow them to take you back down to the darkness and dim your light, you've lost the battle. This isn't a battle anymore. Take the shackles off and ask, can I go to 10,000 feet and look for light? All the lighthouses, you will see them. You'll start seeing them on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media. You'll quit looking for all the darkness and destruction trolls. The trolls won't bother you anymore because you're finding the light. Okay, so I'm going to, I am on my, I don't do this often at this level, but let's see how many of you are still on here. And we'll go from there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to invite her on here. Erin, are you with us?
I am.
I'm going to move Erin to the, I'm going to promote you to panelist, Erin, and we're going to start video chatting. All right. Can you see? And here we go. I'm going to start your video. Hey, everybody, we are going to do, hi, we did it, guys. Everybody, I am so grateful that you can all see this, given my crazy time of trying to get my social media going. So everybody, welcome to the call. If you can't see her, let me see.
I'm a star.
Can you see me? Erin, can you see me?
I can see you. Can you see me?
Yay, okay.
Someone said they can't see me.
Several people are telling me you can't see you, huh? Okay, hold on.
Ooh, I get to read everything.
All right. So if you can't see Erin, that's okay. I'm not gonna try and like override this. Let's see.
Maybe it's, no.
It's all right. I'm gonna just leave you, Erin, but as long as they can hear you. Can y'all see Erin now? Okay, they can see you when you're talking, Erin. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna just swap you, okay? So all I wanna do is find out when you start talking, Erin. It's because I'm on my phone, you guys. So normally you'd be able to see both of us, but again, we had to do a little bit of MacGyvering tonight. And so Erin, welcome. They can all see you.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you to the call, and tell us what were there any things tonight regarding the call that I can further discuss with you, or was there something like that kind of is just going on personally and you're really seeing it flare up with what we discussed?
So yeah, so hi everyone. I actually took notes when I was you. I often do. And today I found myself in a very rageful mood. Like I was thinking about my ex-husband and the position that I feel he puts me in, not that I put myself in, whether or not that's playing victim still. And I found myself to be also jealous because a lot of times I see the grass greener on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not always the case. That's in the moment for me. So you have reminded me about allowing people, well, similar to the lighthouse. Okay, so if I'm going to be the lighthouse and I'm going to shine, and I'm not going to allow other people, I'm not going to make choices for other people, then I have to sit back and allow him to be just who he is. And
You do.
I let him arrive at who he is, I guess. I don't know how to explain myself on that.
You've done well. No, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I
So-
just think that I
let me pause you there, Erin, because I think what you're bringing up is what I've been trying to share with everybody on the call. What everybody's asking me that's happening globally on the planet, you all think that this is like a, oh my God, it's happening to me. No, it's not happening. That out there is not happening to you. What she's sharing with you is it's happening right there in your front room on your phone call with your ex-husband who's down the street. I know he's not down the street, but he was right at one point. And my point being is that it's happening right here. This is where you make the impact of being brighter and being lighter. And you cannot impact, not even your ex-husband. I can't impact my current husband. He's going to be who he's going to be. I can be bright. And there are times that my light goes down. And then he was being a bright light for me. He was pretty funny. And I wasn't depressed. I wasn't angry. I was pissed. And like you said, you were raging. Now, you can't not look at what's happening out there and then find the one source close to you, i.e. ex-husband, and then not blame them, because you can't really walk out the door and blame the person that's in another city for making you raged. It's painful to watch, but it's not really their fault. Does that make sense, what you're doing? Does that make sense, Erin?
Yeah. Well, what makes sense is that I can't make the choices for anybody else except for myself. So
Right.
you, as a lighthouse,
Yes.
and being the light, my only person that I need to worry about and be concerned about is myself.
Exactly.
And the choices that everybody else makes is it, and it even goes back to what I've learned from you is people's blueprint. And tonight you've said something that, again, I've written in my notes, but it's like we have the choice to change our blueprints. My son keeps calling me.
It's okay. So she's
FaceTiming.
right. Everybody, what she just said is so potent. So potent. You have the choice to change your blueprint. And you all have a blueprint. Call it an astrology chart or call it a blueprint. I don't care what you call it. You all got tattooed by the universe with an invisible blueprint that said this is going to be the energy you walk into this planet with. And you all can change it. That's the cool part, right? You all can change that blueprint at any given moment of time. Yet we all play out typically the weaker aspects of our blueprint until someone says, you don't have to do that anymore, Erin. You can go be beautiful, amazing, powerful, abundant, successful Erin. And then one day Erin goes, I can? Pretty much. Right? But that's the shackles I've been trying to explain to everybody right now. We feel shackled because if we are to look at someone else's darkness and destruction and pain, we can sit there with them and hold on and act like we can't leave our own jail. And it's not true.
Well, it takes working with you has allowed me to have the moments of clarity. And the moments of clarity is reminding myself that, again, you're talking about this lighthouse and being that source of light, because actually I know that he actually looks up to me. And I really do. I feel like I know I'm much stronger than him, even though there's areas that he tries to put me down. But if I really consciously sit and listen, I'm definitely a source of light in his life. I know that.
And that's what
in my children's life and other people's life. I just get my own self down. Like even about the jealousy at lunch today with the girls. And one is talking about flying home on her private jet. And I have to remind myself, Okay, I live in Palm Beach. There's a reason I live in Palm Beach. To hear all this, like, you know, $10 million houses, jets flying around. So why am I here and why am I allowing to sit in this kind of environment? And karmically, again, like, I'll have to sit and kind of almost do that meditation journal of, I chose this place for a reason, and what am I here to learn?
And what do you want to get out of it? Do you want to unshackle yourself? And you're more than welcome to fly on a jet. I'm tired. I actually just want to go lay on the mountain and not go anywhere, right? Do you see it? But that's my point. That's the karmic loop for all of us. You'd be in heaven and I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be home in my cozy little Zen sanctuary and loving my own space. And I asked Tony if I could have a little, pasture with, I know he laughed because I said I asked him for unicorns and he said, it'll never happen, but I have a dream, so the joke of like little horses and I just want to be home and you're jet skating around the world. Both of them are real and true. Neither of them are wrong.
That's why I always, and I'll let everybody know, I sent you a text message today feeling like, okay, I need to speak with you every day this week. And I guess that attitude right there. Anytime I've spoken to you, even listening to you tonight, there's always an acceptance from you. And it reminds me to have that same acceptance in life. And like, if I want it, just go get it. If that's what I want, then I can have that.
Oh, so could you just let everybody know tonight on this call that you will be unanchoring your boat and heading out to the life you would like? Let everybody else say, I'm unanchoring everybody because we're listening. We're all going to hold her to this.
Okay. I'm writing it right now.
Thank you. All right, Erin, I'm gonna end the call, but that was so perfectly well said, and thank you for letting us all understand, because you're exactly in the place I was hoping you would help us see from a different perspective.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie. We'll see you soon. All right, bye. All right, guys, let me close off Erin for a second, and then I'm going to switch all of you back. All right, let's get Erin off here. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check the Q&A here real quick on all of you if you had any questions, and my my chat room, because you guys were busy. And then I will answer any last questions. So the chat was basically what questions came up were radical acceptance and changing behavior, overriding habitual systems. Yes. I walked with patience and compassion. The reactions of family members to the current events. Any suggestions about how to respond without fixing to remain the lighthouse? So, guys, this is where I've been trying to get all of you to see just a little bit further. This isn't a grand overnight fix. The 3D plane is slow. It's kind of like molasses. It's smooth and slow and it takes its time, okay? And so what happens is when it takes its time to do what it needs to do, and you have to kind of move your way slowly through it, it doesn't mean you're not moving. It just means you're not going as fast as you want. I am so guilty of that. I want to be there tomorrow. Actually, I want to be there right now. And the point is, you have to be there in your mind. You have to be okay with that now. That's why it's stuck right now. That's why watching all of this, you are all being tested right now. This is a huge, big, fat test. And you're all going to pass. I will go find all of you. I can see you all. I will find you all individually and make sure you pass, which is, will you be looking for lighthouses and those who are shining light and who are doing light and who are doing light work and who are shaking trees? So those who shake trees typically are light workers.
They don't care to be seen. They don't care to be needed. They don't care to be wanted. They just want to be neutral. Let everybody fill in the void how they need to, but they're revealing things, and that's important. So that's something I want you all to watch. And many people are asking me, I'm enraged, I'm angry. It's all coming up for you. It's why I brought it up. Another question was, the awareness is there 100%. It's empowering, but the practice is the constant reminder you are not the mind, and succumbing to its annoying tricks. I like how she put annoying. So you all think this is annoying? That's what I think is funny. You all think this is annoying. And it doesn't have to annoy you. What you have to do is decide, will you keep looking? Because the dark is kind of intriguing. The dark is kind of fascinating. And what's fascinating about all of that is, it's not that there's anything wrong with looking at the dark. It's if you get pulled down to the dark and dim your light in the dark. That's all I'm asking you to do. So everyone's asking, how do you do it with all of you in the family? Well, you know, several of you on this call had asked that question. Let's see, here's another one. Let's see, please share an example of what reply sounds like to be neutral. What does a reply sound like to be neutral? So when someone's coming at you and they're telling you you're wrong, I want you to say, okay, it's very possible I am wrong, because it doesn't make them wrong. Doesn't mean you're right and they're wrong. What happens is here's a good example. Let's say someone's telling you this is terrible, this is destructive behavior, this is, and it, mind you, this is not about racism, and this is not about, that's not, this is used as an example of how to tear people apart. You can go back in 1,000 years ago, and I'm off on my numbers, let's say 100, the year 200, you had a black emperor. So don't think that our first black president was then. We have all played, all of you have been black, brown, white, orange, purple, maybe you've been unicorns. So when someone says you're wrong, the bigger piece of it, does a lighthouse move and move over here to hope they'll be in a better place for you so the boat can find you? No, that lighthouse never moves. It shines its light and it says, you can do it. That's you. That is a neutral answer, which says, okay, you very well might be right. I don't know. And if the light for them comes on one day, and they go, 4 years ago, or, a year ago, or, a month ago, I didn't think that was going to happen, but it happened. And wow, I guess I kind of see where you're coming from now. You don't need to prove to them how to get to the lighthouse. They'll get there on their own. It's just some of you are irritated. And thankfully, Erin used the outraged. The people are getting there faster. And I don't need all of you to go reveal all the darkness. There's plenty out there. I don't need you to get dark with them. So I am imploring all of you to step into being a lighthouse, unwavering, unmoving. And I'm going to use this over and over again just because it's an easy reference. But the reason you're all frustrated is because you all went to the dark this weekend and you all followed it and you fell into it and you got emotionally pulled. And all I want you to do is whatever emotion came up that enraged you or upset you or, like me, angered me. It wasn't any of this that angered me. What angered me is they were going to tell me to put a mask on. When I don't believe in masks, doesn't has anything to do with any of you. It's just for me and many other people, but I don't care what people make their choices. And then I found out that now, probably not a big deal. They don't have to. That's my point. I just need to keep the light on and I'll go to places where they don't care if I don't wear it. So it didn't matter anyway. So I'm trying to teach all of you, just stick with your belief in who you are and it won't matter. Okay. It won't matter. But what will matter is if you keep going to that dark place, that's where the higher power, the higher beings, let's say the powers that be, whoever they are, want you to go. Because if you're there, you're more controllable. Because when you're controllable, the only way to control you is when you're in an emotional state. When you're in a conscious 10,000 foot state, no one bothers you. Way up here. And here's the planet. You think it's going to bother you what's happening? No, you're going to let it happen. Have you ever seen fires that burn down forests and then they come back even more lush and more beautiful than they did before? Things happen for a reason. I saw some business got burned down to the ground and they did a GoFundMe and they've given him so much money that it's probably going to be even more beautiful and abundant and amazing than it ever was before. I'll go there. I'll buy dinner and drinks in a heartbeat. We will look for the people who are light. So stop looking at the destruction and falling into it. So I'm going to end the call. We are a little bit over. We're 15 over. And again, it's totally my fault. I apologize for all the technical difficulties. But I just want to say thank you to all of you who were able to stay on and were able to follow along. I apologize for all of my craziness and breaking a part of the call. But it did go well, and I really appreciate all of you for being able to stick with me. If you have questions, please let me know. You know how to find me. Shoot me a text, shoot me a question, any form, any way. I am there to support you and encourage you to fill in the void. But I will hold you accountable, and I will all keep you bright. I will all keep you all light. Thank you so much. Remember, do not go there. And I'm going to count on all of you to look for the lighthouse, show it, share it, and give it to other people. Remind other people to focus on them as well, because they're everywhere and they're popping out in droves. Find them and understand if they're shaking up the family, shaking up the tree, it's for a reason, and it's super okay. Brightest blessings to all of you. I will see you next week. Keep your chins up, open up your heart, send out your DMT, and it's all going to be okay. I promise. Brightest blessings. Have a good night.